The very foundation of human health lies within our blood vessels. The function of our heart, brain, lungs, and even our mood depends on their condition. But all too often, we only begin to think about our vessels when it's too late. When blood pressure spikes, legs ache, the heart beats with a nervous rhythm, and diagnoses sound like a final verdict. We search for pills, doctors, and procedures, forgetting the most crucial truth. Vascular health is a daily practice, not an emergency intervention. Alexander Mikulin, a brilliant engineer and inventor, faced his own severe health crisis and in response developed a unique system for restoring the body. He asserted, "Old age is not a sentence. Illness is not an obligation. The key is rhythm, simplicity, and conscious movement." He believed the body could be revitalized if one understood its laws and followed them with the same precision as the mechanisms in an engine. The essence of Mikulin's method is this: do less, but do it better. Do not overexert, do not destroy the body with excessive loads, but do not be idle either. Simple daily actions can achieve more than any medication. Today, I will share with you 7 rules that help keep your vessels clean, elastic, and strong, without pills, without grueling workouts, without complex regimens. These are things you can do at home with minimal effort, but for maximum benefit. This is precisely what Mikulin taught. It is not the quantity that saves us, but the precision and consistency. Let us begin. Rule 1. Shake the body to awaken your life. When Alexander Mikulin suffered a severe heart attack, his doctors treated him as a man with no future. He was aging, weakened, and nearly immobile. Yet, defying all prognoses, he not only survived but lived for many more years, maintaining a sharp mind and a mobile body. It was during those difficult months that he began to develop his system for vascular restoration, a method now known as micro-shaking. He didn't attempt the impossible. He told himself, "I will do less, but I will do it with precision and regularity." The method is simple. You stand straight, slowly rise onto the balls of your feet, about 2 centimeters, and then drop sharply onto your heels. This movement creates a gentle shock wave that propels venous blood upward from the legs. It's like a pump, kick-starting circulation in the veins, clearing the vessels of stagnation, and improving tissue nutrition. Shake the body, and it will begin to live, Mikulin would say. This isn't gymnastics or cardio. It is a targeted technique accessible to anyone, even the most weakened individual. He himself performed it 60 times in the morning, 60 in the afternoon, and 60 in the evening, not as a chore, but as a ritual of returning to himself. These micro-movements literally revive the organism. Numbness in the legs disappears, blood pressure lowers, and mood improves. This isn't magic, it's physiology. When blood flows, the body receives nourishment, and the brain gets oxygen. When blood stagnates, decay begins. Mikulin warned that the veins in our legs are like warehouses where blood can pool and fester if not moved. His technique helps prevent varicose veins, thrombosis, swelling, and leg pain, especially for those who lead sedentary lives. It requires no mat, no special attire, no specific conditions. Just you and 2 minutes of your time. He recalled once being on a train and feeling a heaviness in his legs. He stood in the aisle and began his shakes. Passengers watched with curiosity, but after a few minutes, the pain vanished as if it had never been there. He laughed and said, "There, I've proven to myself again that the system works." This wasn't an act of heroism, it was an understanding of the body. Today, this technique is even used in rehabilitative medicine, but few know its originator. And yet, this simple practice could save hundreds from severe health consequences. It won't replace surgery, but it can help you avoid needing it. Do this exercise right now. Stand up, rise onto your toes, and drop down sharply. Feel the gentle wave travel from your feet up through your legs. That is life. That is movement. Do this 3 times a day, and you will see how your body begins to thank you. Mikulin didn't look for easy paths. He looked for intelligent ones. His system doesn't demand strength, it demands discipline. And if you want to keep your vessels clean and strong into old age, start small. Start with a shake. Let this be your first victory over immobility, fatigue, and aging. Rule 2. Walk slowly but live long. Alexander Mikulin knew that not all movement is beneficial, and not all exertion leads to health. He said, "People perish not from inaction, but from incorrect action." In his system, a special place was reserved for calm, rhythmic walking, without strain, without speed, without fitness heroism. just walking, as a medicine for stagnation, fatigue, and the aging of our vessels. When he began his recovery after the heart attack, he didn't run or lift weights. He walked, every day the same route at the same pace. His step was unhurried, deliberate, as if he were in conversation with every cell in his body. He argued that walking engages our internal pumps. It's not merely a way to move our legs. With each step, the calf muscles contract, pushing blood up through the veins. This very action activates venous return, nourishes the capillaries, and saves the brain from hypoxia. Today, millions believe they must run to be healthy, but running wears down the joints, overburdens the heart, and is not suitable for everyone, especially those who already have vascular issues. Walking, however, is universal. It requires no gym membership, just a pair of comfortable shoes and a little willpower. Mikulin advised walking for at least 30 to 40 minutes a day. It could be a morning stroll, the walk home from work, or simply laps around your room if you feel unwell. The key is movement, not for a result, but for circulation. He believed it was better to walk 1 kilometer with pleasure than to run 5 and lie down with chest pain. He recounted observing elders in a village who would walk their properties daily. They didn't know the terminology, they hadn't read medical journals, but they moved. And that is precisely why they lived long, peaceful lives. He understood that nature does not make mistakes. For humans, movement is not a sport, it is a natural state. If you have a sedentary job, add at least 3,000 steps to your day. If you are retired, walk around your apartment, up and down the stairs, in the yard. Do it at your own pace, with your favorite music, or in silence. Mikulin didn't teach suffering, he taught how to build health into a habit. Walking is a massage for the vessels, he would say, and oxygen for the mind. Many assume that simple things don't work, but it is the simple things that save us. A person who walks every day preserves clarity of mind, strength in their legs, a steady heart rhythm, and a healthy brain. Because vessels that are deprived of movement begin to degrade and thus to age. Make it a rule for yourself. Walk every day, without fanaticism, without pressure, but with respect for your body. And you will notice how the heaviness in your legs vanishes, your sleep improves, and a new vitality appears. This is the slow but sure path to longevity, the one Mikulin himself walked and left for us to follow. Rule 3. Awaken your capillaries in the morning. Many older adults wake up with a feeling of stiffness, a heaviness in the body, a fog in the mind, and shortness of breath from the slightest movement. This happens because during sleep, blood circulation slows down, especially in the capillaries, the finest and most numerous vessels in our body. And it is this capillary network that determines cellular nutrition, oxygen supply to the tissues, and the removal of toxins. Mikulin understood this from his own experience and found a way to turn on the capillaries first thing in the morning without complex exercises, right from his bed. He called it vibrational charging, not the kind performed by trainers in leotards on a stage, but a very gentle, almost imperceptible, yet deeply effective practice. Upon waking, he would lie on his back and gently shake his arms and legs for a few minutes. These light, oscillating movements create a resonance in the body, activating blood flow in the most distant parts of the vascular system where conventional exercises can't reach. He would say, "Awaken your vessels, and they will awaken you." Then he would sit on the edge of the bed, nod his head forward and back, rock his torso, and make slow circles with his shoulders and arms. All of this was done without haste, without strain, but with an inner focus on the sensations. His morning didn't start with coffee or pills. It began with what he called the tremor of the body. This technique helped him eliminate morning lethargy, regulate his blood pressure, lower his pulse, and enter the day gently, but with inner vigor. He recalled how during a business trip in his 70s, his colleagues would wake up with headaches and heavy legs, while he would step outside feeling fresh, with a clear gaze, ready to work. They were amazed, asking, "What are you taking?" He would just smile. "I'm simply shaking myself awake, not the world around me." Modern medicine has confirmed that vibrational and rocking movements activate the lymphatic system, improve blood flow to the organs, reduce the risk of edema, and promote detoxification. They are particularly beneficial for the elderly and weakened individuals who find traditional exercises difficult. This is a workout for those who want to feel revived, not exhausted. Mikulin believed that movement should begin even before you get on your feet. Then the body awakens not in a state of panic, but in harmony. If you incorporate such a gentle vibrational practice into your life, you will notice how your mornings change. Instead of pain and stiffness, there will be lightness. Instead of apathy, a calm clarity. Instead of dreading the day, a desire to live it. Remember, you don't need to do a lot. You need to do it precisely and with attention. These movements are like tuning an internal instrument. If you gently rock your body each morning, as Mikulin did, you will extend not only the health of your vessels, but the resilience of your entire nervous system. This isn't just a workout, it's a ritual of life that deserves a place in every day. Rule 4, breathe correctly. Every breath heals. If our vessels are the body's highways, then our breath is the wind that moves along them. Without the movement of air, blood thickens, tissues suffocate, and the brain slowly begins to fade. As an engineer, Alexander Mikulin understood this principle. He knew that for a machine to run smoothly, it needs not just fuel, but oxygen. The same is true for the body. Without proper breathing, it simply cannot handle life's demands. It ages faster and loses its clarity. Breathing is not an automatic function. It's an art that can be reclaimed, he would say. He developed a simple but powerful rule for himself: a deep inhalation followed by an exhalation twice as long. It is this extended exhale that helps the blood vessels relax, lowers blood pressure, stabilizes the pulse, and most importantly, calms the nervous system. All of this reduces the risk of spasms, headaches, hypertension, and emotional outbursts. He practiced a breathing pattern of inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 8, slowly, consciously, without strain. He did this every morning, every evening, and whenever he felt tired. He would say, "When you breathe correctly, the heart is grateful, the brain awakens, and the face looks younger." And it's true. Breathing is one of the most powerful natural ways to cleanse the vessels. Saturate the blood with oxygen and expel carbon dioxide. It is a free medicine that is always with you. Yet, with age, most people begin to breathe in a shallow, short, sharp, and anxious manner. They don't realize how they are shortening the life of their own vessels. Once, during a trip to the mountains, Mikulin began to suffer from headaches due to the lack of oxygen. Everyone else rushed for their pills. He, however, sat on a rock, closed his eyes, and began to breathe slowly, as he had taught himself. A calm inhale through the nose, a soft and long exhale through the mouth. After 15 minutes, the pain was gone. He looked at his colleagues and said, "That's the entire prescription. The body is like an engine. Give it the right air, and it won't stall." Today, medical experts confirm that breathing practices improve vascular health, lower arterial blood pressure, alleviate anxiety, and even aid in recovery after a stroke. Most importantly, they are accessible to everyone. You can do them lying down, sitting, standing while on a walk, in a queue, or before sleep. Mikulin didn't teach complex yogic techniques. He said, "Do it simply, but do it consciously." His breathing was not a ritual, but a habit. He didn't just inhale air, he inhaled life. And he advised everyone who wished to live a long and clear life, breathe as if your clarity depends on it, because it does. Start today. Find 5 minutes of silence. Close your eyes. Take an inhale. Slowly exhale. Feel how with each exhale, tension leaves your body, and with each inhale, your vessels receive strength. This simple exercise can become your anchor on anxious days and your medicine when you are weary. And as Mikulin said, if you want to live better, first learn to breathe correctly. Rule 5. Temper your vessels with water, not with pain. With age, blood vessels lose their elasticity. They become brittle and react poorly to changes in temperature and pressure. This leads to headaches, blood pressure spikes, rapid fatigue, heaviness in the legs, and numbness in the fingers. Mikulin believed that vessels are like muscles. If you don't train them, they weaken. But they should be trained not with heavy loads, but with contrast. He would say, "Water is the most honest trainer. It either revitalizes or destroys. It all depends on how you use it." For him, the contrast shower was not just a habit, but a daily ritual. He didn't jump into an ice hole or douse himself with boiling water. Everything was precise, measured, and done with understanding. He would start with warm water, then switch to cool, then warm again for 3 or 4 cycles. The key, he said, was to always finish with cool water and immediately afterward to vigorously rub himself down with a towel. This helped the vessels learn to maintain their tone and avoid going into spasm. He told a story of how one day at his country house, he felt a sudden wave of exhaustion. Instead of lying down, he went into the shower, performed his usual alternating rinse, got out, rubbed himself dry, drank a glass of warm water with lemon, and went to work in his garden. I didn't fight the fatigue, he said. I woke myself up. This was his philosophy: water as an awakening, not an ordeal. Medicine confirms that contrast showers improve microcirculation, strengthen the vascular walls, help normalize blood pressure, and enhance the function of the autonomic nervous system. It is especially beneficial for the legs, where blood stagnation and vascular problems most often begin. Mikulin recommended directing the stream of water from the bottom up, from the feet to the knees, then higher, not forgetting the neck and arms. Vessels love movement and water, he said. Give them both, and they will serve you longer than you think. He didn't set records for cold exposure. He relied on sensible consistency. Let it be 3 minutes in the morning, but every single day. Let it be just a cool rinse for your but regularly. The essence is not to stress yourself, but to teach the body to be alive, adaptive, and flexible. If you've never taken a contrast shower, start gently. Warm water, then slightly cooler, then warm again. Gradually make the cold more refreshing, but never shocking. Listen to your body, it will tell you what it needs. The most important thing is to warm up actively afterward. Movement, rubbing, warm clothing, and then you will understand what Mikulin meant. Water is not an enemy, it's an ally. And a drop of cold is not a stressor, but a way to remember that you are alive. Start your morning with this power, and your vessels will thank you. Rule 6. Feed your vessels, don't clog them. Alexander Mikulin understood that no amount of movement could save a person if their blood was thick and their vessels were clogged. He said, "We are what our vessels allow to pass through. If your blood is like jelly, neither air nor water will save you." That is why he placed enormous importance on nutrition, not as a diet, not as a temporary sacrifice, but as a system of support for the vessels, a conscious fuel for life. He wasn't a proponent of fasting or strict restrictions, but he eliminated everything that makes blood viscous, vessels fragile, and the heart overworked. First and foremost, excess sugar, salt, saturated fats, processed foods, and anything fried. He would say, fat on the skillet, fat in the vessels, salt in the sausage, swelling in the legs, sugar in the pastry, cracks in the artery walls. Instead, his daily diet included buckwheat, a source of rutin for strengthening vessels, garlic, a natural blood purifier, lemon to lower blood pressure and stimulate capillaries, flaxseed oil to maintain vessel elasticity, and nuts to restore the vessel walls. And of course, water, at least 1.5 liters a day to ensure blood fluidity. He also practiced unloading days once or twice a week. This wasn't starvation, but a reduction in load: fruits, water, light vegetables. He claimed that such days give the vessels a break and allow the body to clean its pipes. One day he said, "We pay more attention to the filters in our cars than to what we pour into ourselves. It's absurd." He recalled how, during a long project, he began drinking liters of sweet tea and eating pastries to cope with stress. Within a week, he felt a heaviness, headaches, and a loss of mental clarity. He then put himself on a 3-day vascular reset: minimal food, only light soups, lemon water, and movement. Within 24 hours, he had returned to his productive, light-bodied self. Clear blood, clear mind, he would say, and he was right. Modern nutritional science confirms that what we eat directly impacts the elasticity of our vessels, the viscosity of our blood, and the risk of atherosclerosis. And it's not just what we eat, but when, how, and in what state of mind. Mikulin ate slowly, with gratitude, without gadgets, in silence or during calm conversation. If you want your vessels to serve you for a long time, start not with the medicine cabinet, but with your plate. Remove everything that causes inflammation and makes red blood cells clump together. Add what strengthens, cleanses, and revitalizes. Eat as if your body were a laboratory where every ingredient is either medicine or poison. As Mikulin said, don't wait for disease. To feed yourself correctly is to respect yourself. And self-respect is the first step toward longevity. Take that step today. Not abruptly, not with prohibitions, but with care, and you will feel your body change, your vessels give thanks, and your mind become clearer. Rule 7. Rest not by lying down, but by shifting gears. Many people think that rest is complete inaction, to lie down, be still, and switch off. But it is precisely this doing nothing that often turns rest into a heavy inertia, especially with age. Alexander Mikulin said, "Rest without movement kills the vessels. Your body begins to rust." He saw how many of his peers would collapse onto the sofa after work, after a meal, after stress, and remain there for hours, later complaining of numb legs, headaches, and apathy. He knew that recovery lies not in stillness, but in a proper change of activity. After working at his drafting table, he wouldn't go to the sofa to rest. He would stand up, do his shakes, walk around the room, rub his hands and shoulders, and breathe deeply. Just 3 to 5 minutes of active relaxation, and he would feel alive again. He argued that the body doesn't need idleness. It needs movement of a different amplitude. He often told the story of a professor he knew, a man in his 70s, who took a break from his work every hour. He would stand, stretch, walk slowly, and do a few bends. As a result, he worked more and with greater clarity than his 20-year-old assistants. Meanwhile, another, much younger acquaintance would come home and melt into his armchair in front of the television, gradually losing his zest for life. The difference was not in their age, but in their ability to rest correctly. Mikulin recommended alternating between mental and physical activity. If you've been working with your head, go for a walk. If you're tired from physical movement, sit quietly with your eyes closed and listen to the silence. He didn't see the body and mind as competitors, but as partners. While one rests, the other works. Change, he said. That is the key to recovery. Not stopping, but switching. Even on trips where one would expect to relax, he found a rhythm. Light exercises in the morning, a walk in the afternoon, and reading or working with his hands in the evening. He never allowed himself to dissolve into passivity. This was his way of life, and because of it, he maintained the tone of his vessels, the clarity of his mind, and the resilience of his spirit. Medicine confirms that prolonged inactivity reduces vascular tone, slows blood flow, increases the risk of thrombosis, and leads to a decline in psycho-emotional well-being. That is why it is crucial for older adults not just to rest, but to rest with movement. Change your posture, take a short walk, stretch, do a breathing exercise. These are small gestures that grant a longer life. If you are tired, don't just collapse. First, stand up, shake yourself out, take 5 steps, and take a deep breath. Only then should you rest, and that rest will become restoration, not degradation. As Mikulin said, tranquility is not immobility, it is movement at a different tempo. And if you want your vessels to work long and precisely, learn to rest with your mind, with your body, and with attention to yourself. This is the final rule, but perhaps one of the most important, because the quality of your rest determines how long your internal engine will run. Your heart, your brain, your vessels, and your soul. Health is not found in medications, in clinics, or in miracle recipes from the internet. It begins with small things, with movement, with breath, with food, with silence. Alexander Mikulin proved this with his own life. He didn't look for shortcuts or rely solely on doctors. Instead, day by day, step by step, he built his own longevity with his hands, his legs, his lungs, and his vessels. He said, do less, but do it better. Do it simply, but do it every day. These 7 rules don't require strength. They require attention. They don't demand much time. They demand consistency. And if you begin to apply even one of them, your vessels will respond, first with a lightness in your legs, then with clarity in your mind, then with calmness in your heart. And then you will notice how your entire life changes, not from the outside, but from within. If these ideas resonated with you, please support this video with a like. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes on health, longevity, and real strength without fanaticism. Write in the comments which are you will start with, or perhaps you already have your own ritual for restoration. Share it with others. Your experience is inspiring, and your feedback is motivating. Thank you for watching to the end. I'll see you in the next video. It will be simple but better.